Hello and welcome to another Warcraft III audio commentary. Today we're going to be watching Game 2 of eMaLfans, spawning as the orange human on the left side of the map versus SteelSeries.Fly, spawning as the blue orc on the right side of the map. This is Echo Isles and this is Game 2 for the semifinals match between these two players in ZOTAC number 263. For Fly, we're going to go ahead and see him start with a Blade Master barracks opening. This means he's going to be doing just a very standard orc opening play. We're going to see over here for eMaLfans, we're going to see the Archmage as well as the barracks coming up, which is going to be a fairly standard human opening as well. Might make a little bit of sound here. Hopefully that wasn't too loud, but I had to move my microphone just a little bit. Yeah, I know this weekend has been pretty rough on uploads. Sorry about that. Like I said in the last game, there's not really been a lot I can do about it. It's not really up to me when I have time to record. So I just didn't have any this weekend, and it sucked because I wanted to really badly, but I didn't get to, and it really sucks. And I'm kind of far behind now, and I'm trying to make it up. So hopefully I'll get back on track. My goal was, of course, to have IEF finished this week. And hopefully, before Friday. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but I'm going to try still. It probably won't happen, but anyway, because there are a lot of matches, and but anyway, let's go ahead and get back to this game. eMaLfans is going to go ahead and do a militia creep right here with that water elemental to tank. Over here, we're going to see it looks like there's a footman chasing down Fly's scout peon, just trying to. The peon did, of course, get a little bit of information. He ran to right about here before he started being chased by this footman, which allowed him to see that, one, the Archmage is going to be the first hero, and two, that this is going to be where eMaLfans is actually going to be creeping right there, and that's a lot of valuable information. We will go ahead and see those forest trolls as the Blade Master was running away from that creep camp. He killed just the ogre. Going to actually net that peon. Going to force that footman, or going to give that footman a free kill right there. Now we're going to go ahead and see the Blade Master selling his items right there that he did pick up. I believe it was a Ring of Protection +2 as well as his TP that he just sold. And now he's running down towards this shop. What exactly is he doing? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe he's looking for this Archmage, who's also on his way down to this shop. And it looks like that might be what it was. He maybe was going to go buy a circlet and trying to prevent the Archmage from buying a circlet. Boots don't spawn for at least another... Well, they spawn at 1900. So as you can see, it's at 1735. So there is that. We do see this grunt over here on the side of the map for Fly. eMaLfans just running around with his Archmage, and now it looks like both players may be racing over to the shop, perhaps, to buy boots and a circlet. That could be what's going on. It looks like now we're going to see it looks like eMaLfans actually coming in here with a bunch of militia. Going to get scouted by that grunt, clearly going for an expansion attempt right here. The Blade Master not going through the shop. He's going to come over here and try to stop and disrupt this creep pattern as much as he can. Does not want to give a free expansion to eMaLfans. However, we do see that both of Fly's grunts have been ensnared by these creeps. Unfortunate micro right there for him. You can avoid that, but it looks like it's not going to happen this time. And we're going to see one of them getting away with only 43 life. We do have a third grunt on the way in, but it's going to have two grunts in the rest of this fight, of course, because that 43 HP grunt does need to get out of here. Quick look back over here, we can see that there's actually a footman up on this side of near Fly's base. Over there, we're going to see this the Blade Master actually taking some damage. He doesn't have enough mana for a Windwalk, so he's going to go ahead and get out of that surround. Will he open up on that? Yes, he goes ahead and opens up on the Ogre Magi. Going to get the experience and the item for that kill. Really nice. And now we're going to see these grunts trying to block the Archmage so he cannot finish that Blade Master off. It's very, very close. However, the Blade Master will get away just right there, barely in the nick of time. Over here, we're going to see it looks like that footman coming in here, trying to finish off this grunt, perhaps. It looks like that could be the case. Yes, he is trying to finish that grunt off, and he may very well be able to do so. He just needs, I believe, 2 more hits on this grunt, and that will kill it. The grunt turning around for some reason. I'm not sure why that is the 1 hit, and 1 more turnaround, and again, I don't know why. Maybe it's because of that sheep right there that might have been blocking, and down goes that grunt to that footman. We're going to see another grunt maybe going down. Nope, going to live just barely 2 hits away from death right there. We do have this Blade Master now running up here as well. Now, this footman does have defense, so he's actually going to be able to run out of this base by not taking all that much damage from that orc burrow. It looks like nicely done. And we do have, it looks like another footman up here. I'm not sure entirely what eMaLfans is doing with his footman, but very interesting. We're going to see maybe this Blade Master pick this footman off. Yes, indeed, we will see that. And now we look back over here, we can see this expansion from eMaLfans is going to go up. We do have a guard tower as well as an arcane tower being built at the same time as the town hall. This time we have 4 peasants right now power building this town hall, and it looks like you're going to send 2 more militia down here. One is always good to have. 1 extra is always good to have if you have 6. That allows you to make some wood, build some farms and such without having to disrupt your gold flow. Down here, we're going to see him creeping out this. Not going to get a Tome of Experience, actually going to get a Tome of Knowledge. Also a fairly good tome to get from that. It does increase all of your stats by 1, as you can see right there. So nicely done to get that. The better tome, of course, is the Tome of Experience. Looks like we actually have 2 defended footmen in this peon line right here, actually. And it's going to cause the grunts and the shadow hunters just popped out to actually go ahead and run over here and try to force them away, and they're going to be able to do so without too much of an issue. It looks like we're actually going to see double bestiary from Fly. An interesting choice. I'm going to see one of those footmen's hexed, and that's going to probably go down. If we look over here, we're going to see Town Hall's tech still being the just Town Hall for eMaLfans. Over here, we're going to see it looks like a grunt and the Blade Master trying to creep this out. Generally, you'll just see them creep out just the Ogre Magi, then run away. But we might see him finish the whole thing off. It's a possibility. It looks like he will. With the Archmage actually coming over here to creep out this. And again, not a Tome of Experience, but once again, the Tome of Knowledge. So between this creep, and between both of the Murloc creep camps, he's actually going to have essentially a free circlet, because every one of his stats have been boosted by 2 permanently, which is quite nice. Even though, again, 2 Tomes of Experience would have been better, that's not bad. We're going to see, once again, eMaLfans bringing that one of these footmen that looks like a second footman in here to actually harass this peasant line with defend, which makes the burrows really ineffective against these things. Can't really force them out. You have to bring a Blade Master or some grunts or something into that line to actually kill him. And now we're going to see that Blade Master coming in. And, you know, this is feeding a little bit of experience over here to Fly, but it's not a huge amount, in all honesty, and it's really providing a big distraction. So I kind of like it. And do you always see an ensnare going off onto this footman? We could. Yes, indeed we will. So that footman, both of those footmen will go down. It's an interesting thing. I don't know if it's worth it, but it definitely is interesting, because I'm not sure he's really doing a whole lot. But again, the big thing here is opportunity cost. Actually, he's not going to kill that one. I'm not sure why he's not killing that footman, or maybe he will. He could ensnare it again here in a second, but that's, I guess he doesn't want to. Interesting. Interesting, yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm not sure why he didn't. I guess he just. I guess Fly is really working on opportunity cost. We're actually going to see another footman go down, clearly ensnared by the raider right there. Yeah. And let's see what we have over here. It looks like now 4 towers about to go up. We have a 5th one being built. It looks like 3 guard towers. We actually are seeing a fairly large number of raiders. That's 3 raiders, and I mean, because it's double bestiary, we might see even more. There's still no Spirit Lodge in sight. Fly is at 45 out of 50 food. Will he go for more raiders, or will he break upkeep? That would be interesting. I don't know what he's thinking about doing right now, but we do see he's still running around trying to contain map control right now. Actually, he has five raiders at this point. That's interesting. And again, still has a little bit more. Oh, and he's going pillage. Well, this could be quite interesting. Yeah, we're going to see the damage upgrade of the raiders right there, pillage, and a bunch of raiders. So the strategy we might be seeing is he might be trying to do some base racing type of action here, because of course his base is going to be fairly durable compared to the human army, which is going to mainly consist of footmen, the archmage, and the water elementals. If we look down here, we can see invisible archmage at this point that kind of spells running into your base and trying to harass your burrows and your peons. And it sounds like, yeah, there's a footman back in this line, and this is interesting. This might be what eMaLfans was thinking all along was going to happen. Maybe he knew that Fly wanted to do some kind of a base race trade, as you can see again with the raiders, and he's just been weakening these peons all game long, so that when he comes in here to do harass, these peons are going to be very low on HP. Over here, we're going to see, it looks like, yep, Fly coming in here, just ignoring the towers, just going for these buildings. Well, I guess he's going to kill this tower while it's being built. That's always well worth it, if you can take one out while it's being built. But yeah, going to be able to ensnare these peasants to prevent them from repairing. They cannot repair while they are ensnared, and just run these low HP units away. Does he have any healing salves? He has 1, but mainly just going to be healing waves that we're going to see here. Getting money from every attack he deals with these raiders, of course. I believe grunts also give him pillage money as well. Peons should also. And the flip side is we do have another footman right here, back in 2 footmen coming right back into this peon line, while we see the rest of these this footman, the 1 footman, the archmage, and the water elemental actually right-clicking onto that burrow. A far more interesting thing here, actually, we're going to see a wand of illusion going to allow him for more tankiness on these raiders right here, so he's going to be able to stay here longer, trying to take out this town hall. Of course, he only has 4 ensnares. 4 ensnares isn't really a whole lot compared to the amount of peasants actually repairing, but he is getting a ton of resources from this, as you can see. As you can see, his resources are all going up. Well, I guess he did go ahead and queue up a couple raiders right there. But as you can see, even though he's got max repair, he's not actually getting any wood right now. But you can see that it's going up because of the pillage, which is actually quite cool. And of course, for eMaLfans, his resources should be going down, I believe. Let's see, yeah, because he's repairing quite a bit. I guess his wood is fairly stable, and his resources fairly stable actually. Then once he backs off, then his resources can go back up. But we're going to see that Mountain King actually coming out to try to maybe pick off some of these low HP units that are left in Fly's army. eMaLfans going to run with that Archmage out of here now. We do have these 2 Water Elementals still just running around in the base. Maybe we're going to try to pick off some of these peons that are actually very low on HP. He could do that if he wanted to. Trying to deny that, maybe? I'm not sure. Maybe. I'm not really sure why he's not just killing some of these peons, because he could. There goes one. Could probably get 2 or 3 more. Maybe. No, probably just 1 more. Yeah, so down 1 more goes. So just 2. Still not bad. Not a bad harass, but of course Flies, it was a little better. He's going to get even more raiders on the way out right now. Making as many raiders as possible, and of course just making this into a very interesting base race. So no one's really concerned about killing buildings. I guess, well, no. eMaLfans, I'm sure, is concerned about killing burrows, but I think he's more concerned about killing the peons. And I think part of that was just stopping the resource gain from Fly. Of course, with the pillage, Fly was actually making plenty of resources just from attacking over here, which definitely was making up for the fact that he had to spam repair right there. So it's interesting. I'm not really sure that eMaLfans should have been focusing just the burrow, but I mean, the problem is that when there are burrows, it's very, very difficult to pick peons off, because if they're low HP, they just queue up into a burrow. So at the very least, he was able to delay and prevent himself from losing his expansion, which of course is very important. He's going to go ahead and build these Arcane Sanctums. I guess we didn't quite see that, but he built them in a very good spot here. As you can see, they're right in front of his Town Hall, which means that the opponent cannot just run back in here and right-click on your Town Hall once again. You have some time to do some damage before they get to your Town Hall, and that's important when you're dealing with base race. As you can see, one of these raiders is actually going to be able to get out of here, just microing itself back a little bit, waiting until there's a healing wave to come up where it can come back in and be part of that healing wave and take some nice amount of healing. Yes, we're going to see one of the raiders actually getting bolted and going down, and there's a healing wave on that one. That one's also going to go down, it looks like, though, and yes, it does go down. It looks just like the towers. Dying to towers, it's not as bad as it would be dying to a unit, because you don't actually give any experience for that, but we're going to go ahead and see another raider going down. Up here in this base, we're just going to see there's a peasant right here. I'm sorry, a footman in this peasant line, or peon line once again. Will he be able to get any kills? He could. It's very, very possible, right? He's very close to getting some. I'm not sure. And we do see the Blade Master actually going down as well, and that Mountain King also very low. I'm not really sure how the Mountain King died, but it looks like we're actually going to see a Staff of Teleportation, perhaps just into this base. No, over to this base, to the expansion that Fly is actually trying to put up. Some nice move by eMaLfans. We're going to see that Fly is going to be forced to back off now that his Blade Master has died. Let's see, he's actually lost several peons in here. It looks like he may have lost 4 peons, because I don't think any of the footmen had died until just then to get that grunt onto the footmen. Otherwise, they can just walk away fairly easy against this burrow, which doesn't really do a lot of damage. And it looks like, yeah, this is going to be that footman just doing some. Those 2 footmen are actually probably going to beat this grunt. Indeed, they will. But of course, Fly is coming back with his army now, as you can see. So he's going to be able to help support this grunt. He just needs to run this grunt away at some point before he loses it. He does not want to lose this grunt. There we go. Yeah, barely getting it away, just in a really very nick of time. Just one more hit would have lost its life right there. I'm going to go ahead and ensnare both of those footmen. We just have 2 more footmen hiding up here. This is quite impressive by eMaLfans. Just very naggedy type play. Essentially saying, no matter what you do, Fly, I'm going to be able to get into your base, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. And of course, with that Staff of Teleportation on that Archmage, if he gets another chance, he can always TP into here and, you know, do some damage with the Water Elementals and kill some peasants, or some peons, perhaps, very easily. And that would be quite entertaining to watch, I'm not going to lie. Probably not very fun to play against. So we do see this militia creep with this Mountain King. Going to go ahead and get them. The Archmage will summon the Water Elemental, but give the experience over to the Mountain King, who does need to hit level 3 if he's going to want to win this game. Hitting level 3 is a big deal on the Mountain King. It gives you a much stronger bolt damage, and that's really what it's about. We're actually going to see a second pair of Boots of Speed being picked up by the Mountain King right there from that creep drop. Probably will pass one of those pairs to the Archmage, however, he might just sell it instead. We'll see what he chooses to do. We'll find out. Surely he's going to do something. Of course, the Boots of Speed don't actually stack. They only give 1 movement speed bonus to the hero, so I'm not really sure why he hasn't just passed that or something yet, but whatever. So we're going to see this Great Hall going back up once again for Fly, trying to get his expansion up. He does need an expansion. And now we're actually going to see a Spirit Lodge on the way up. Once again, those 2 footmen that were actually up here. Right back into that peasant line. And one more time, we're going to see another footman coming up right there. And we actually have another Oh, I'm sorry, it's a flying machine. I thought that might be a footman sneaking over here. But nope, it's a flying machine chilling out right there, allowing eMaLfans to actually continuously scout this expansion out. And we're going to see another potion of invisibility, I believe, and let's just see. It might have been a sorceress. Probably was a sorceress then, because the sorceress are adept at this point, allowing him to sneak his archmage right over here to this expansion. Perhaps taking this out, you may need to get out of here with a teleport scroll. It looks like he's going to have no choice but to get out with a teleport scroll. Of course, he might be able to stay here long enough. No, he won't be able to stay here long enough to summon another one. But he will actually use another water elemental, but he will use a potion of invulnerability, which will allow him to go ahead and finish it off. And I think I stand corrected. He was actually able to summon another water elemental. So nicely done by eMaLfans, very nicely done. We do have that second Arcane Sanctum has been rebuilt, this time in the safety of his base, with the workshop taking its place out here. The workshop a little bit more tanky, as you can see, 1440 HP versus 1260. It's not a huge amount, but it could make a difference. And it could just be more pillage gold, but, you know, generally you want your tankier stuff out there if you can, and that's what we're going to see. We do see that Blade Master now running around. He does have 2 circlets, a Gloves of Haste, and a Boots of Speed. He is level 4, halfway to level 5 almost. And let's see, if we look over here, we're going to see that it looks like Fly is pulling out this, the mercenary camp right here, and just going to go ahead and creep this out. Trying to hit level 5 on the Shadow Hunter as well. I don't think he'll hit level 5 from this creep camp, but he will be fairly close after this creep camp for sure. Down here, once again, trying to get this expansion up, and once again with this Archmage coming in here, invisible Archmage and now an invisible Mountain King as well, going to both start beating down on this, trying to deny Fly from getting this expansion. Very good play by eMaLfans. Of course, if Fly cannot get an expansion up, then he really will be out economy very quickly in this game. But we're going to see perhaps this, do we see a staff of preservation? Oh, but he's been hexed. The Archmage has been hexed, so down goes the Archmage. Really nice play from Fly as well right there, going ahead and not letting that Mountain King get staffed out. He knew that he could go ahead and kill that Archmage, or I'm sorry, the Mountain King, if the Archmage was unable to staff, and during Hex you cannot use items, so you cannot staff. So nicely done. And once again, actually we're going to see a peon going down this time to this footman right there. Nicely done by eMaLfans. Of course, a little bit of a mistake by Fly. Very difficult to continuously micro everything you have all over the place. So mistakes like that are bound to happen, and nicely done. And of course, eMaLfans, I really don't know how effective this is in terms of gold cost, but when you have an expansion and your opponent does not, you know, you can afford to throw a little bit of gold away. We're actually going to see a creep jack come off in here, and we're going to see a priest going down while eMaLfans actually TPs out and giving the rest of this experience and this item as well to Fly Shadow Hunter. Fly Shadow Hunter about to hit level 5. This shouldn't give him level 5, I don't think, but it might. I mean, he's going to be really, really close. I'm not sure how much that experience that will be exactly. I think it's going to be like a sliver from it, if I'm... Yeah, just a sliver, just a tiny amount. And he does go ahead and pick up a Ring of Protection +3. Not the best item, but it's not a bad item. Does bring him up to 9 armor. He's, of course, an agility-based hero. The big issue is that he needs to be afraid of Bolt, not as much afraid of physical DPS, which... With 9 armor, you can be pretty tanky against physical DPS. We do have, it looks like, this Blade Master coming in here, trying to defend his expansion, because once again, the invisible Archmage coming in here to do the harass, and try to stop this expansion from going up. eMaLfans just doing a great job denying this thing, trying to bring these raiders in here as well. Of course, every time that Fly can force a 350 gold TP, he's in good shape. But of course, this time we're just going to see a staff of teleportation. Now, Sorceress will go down. No dust on Fly's heroes, but that is level 5 on his Shadow Hunter at this point. Level 4, very, very close to level 5 on that Blade Master as well. Fly may very well have the army advantage. But for how long, I don't know, because it looks like, indeed, eMaLfans is beginning to make quite a nice tier 3 army with casters, master casters. Wow, both of his casters are masters, spellbreakers, mortars, and knights, with a tree hero. Even though he doesn't have as much experience, he has 331. That is level 3 Archmage, very, very close, just a sliver from level 4. Level 3 on the Mountain King, and then level 1 on the Paladin, versus what is essentially, yes, indeed, 5-5 for Fly's, for Orc's army, for Fly, yeah, for his Blade Master and his Shadow Hunter. The problem is that raiders themselves aren't going to be all that great, really, in this particular fight that we're going to see. We do see now Berserker Strength as well as a Demolisher on its way out, and you do need the Berserker Strength, like, really, if you're using grunts at all. And there are nice upgrades. 2-1 versus, let's see, does he have any upgrades? 1-1 indeed. So, but the issue here is really going to be that we're actually going to see some towers coming up. eMaLfans basically saying he wants to siege this location, and using towers here will help him do that. Of course, because if the fight comes out this way, then he can truly trench himself in. And we're going to see this gyro coming out. This gyro does not have any ground attack, but he does provide invisibility reveal. We do see this Blade Master now in a bad spot, kind of surrounded a little bit. He cannot really get out until he uses Windwalk, but he can be seen while he is invisible. So that's going to be an issue for him. He's going to have a nice usage of the Spirit Link, another healing wave, and there goes the bolt onto the Blade Master. Of course, you can see him, like I said, multiple times with that flying machine right there. And it looks like we're going to see that Archmage actually going down. Down goes the Archmage. Nice crit, 244 damage from Fly. We're going to see once again another healing wave coming in here. We're going to maybe see this Knight going down. We do see a bolt on the Shadow Hunter. The Shadow Hunter now slowed, trying to get away. Does he have another healing wave in time? Will he be able to get this off? Yes, barely, just in the nick of time. Going to be able to get that off. And now we do see it looks like this army from eMaLfans is going to get picked off a little bit here. The question is, will we see, yes indeed, another Spellbreaker going down, but will we see Fly actually pushing out here? He does have a Demolisher, so he could do a little bit of damage just by pushing out. He's actually going to try to take out these trees. That would be nice. He needs to have as much open area as possible, but we do have a mortar. 2 mortars, in fact, actually just trying to wail onto this Demolisher. 3 mortars, in fact, indeed. 3 mortars. I only saw 2, but 3. And of course, with those mortars and these towers, you can essentially just do a lot of damage from ranged. And while you're doing that damage from the ranged, we're actually going to see maybe this flying machine being picked off. That would be nice. Don't want to have that invisibility reveal for free to eMaLfans. So we're going to see it looks like that's not the case. And it looks like that is shrapnel upgrade right there, doing a bunch of damage to these units. I can't quite tell. Actually, maybe it's not. I can't tell. It's hard to tell. Let me see. Is he researching it? No, he's not. I can't tell. It's very hard. I don't quite remember what it looks like. It looks like it's shrapnel, though. It does look like it's shrapnel. I wish I could click and it would say, oh, this is shrapnel, but it doesn't quite. But it does look like it. And shrapnel, of course, does a lot of extra damage to certain types of armor. I believe it's like unarmored and maybe medium. I don't know. I don't quite remember. But anyway, we're going to see this fight going underway once again. It looks like now Fly is not in that great of a position right here. The Archmage is back out. And as you can see, this fight really kind of going maybe towards eMaLfans' favor. I'm not sure. We do see maybe he's going to be able to get these mortars down, perhaps. I think the mortars have gone down, all of them except 1. And now we can see that, yeah, I think it's definitely shrapnel. We're going to see that Raider being picked off as well. And now we're going to see 3 Demolishers up from Fly. So Fly actually maybe trying to do his also trying to adapt his army to this type of battle that we're going to be seeing from eMaLfans. And yeah, if only those had liquid fire on them, the tier 3 upgrade, they would be doing a lot of damage. I'm not sure it's actually called liquid fire, but these Demolishers are not being microed very well at all. They're doing absolutely nothing right now. I don't know what he's doing right there, but we're going to see him maybe trying to get these attacking now, getting on the casters. That would be perfect. Yes, indeed, we see them going on for those casters for Demolishers. That at this point, that's kind of a lot of Demolishers. I'm not sure if Fly needs that many Demolishers. Of course, his expansion is up and running right now, so that's good. But the 2 mortar teams back out. Now we're going to see some scout towers being rushed right here and some more militia coming in here. And it looks like Fly is being forced to run away. He's invested so much money in Demolishers. He doesn't really have much of an army right now besides Demolishers. Of course, they do a lot of damage, but you know, they're not all that great. They do have the 2 armor upgrades, which gives them 6 armor, but they don't have any damage upgrades. See 2-2 now on these units and Adept Spirit Walkers. You can take these towers out fairly quickly with all of those Demolishers, but with the Knights, he's going to have a hard time dealing with the Knights. I guess he's trying to rely on his Blade Master right now, but his Blade Master is not really all that buff, in all honesty. He's critting for 228. That's not really a lot for level 5. He could buy 2 orbs, and that would help his damage out a lot, but he's not tier 3 yet, I don't think. So, look real quick. Yeah, he's not tier 3 at all. He's tier 2 still. This is not looking too good for Fly, I gotta be honest. Trying to take out this Paladin. Could take out this Paladin. The Paladin hits level 2. The Paladin's actually going to get Divine Shield and go ahead and Divine Shield himself. So he's going to be able to stay alive in that regard. There is a Magic Sentry. It has been researched on these Scout Towers, so they can see that in Blade Master once again while he is invisible. And again, we're going to see a Bash going off onto that Blade Master as well as a Healing Wave at the same time. And I think that was a Bolt as well. And that Blade Master goes down. This is probably a good game right here for Fly. I think he's going to have to call it. Jeez, I don't know what he was trying to do with all of those Demolishers right there. That was interesting. It was very interesting, but again, I don't know what he was trying to do with it. Like, I'm not sure what exactly he wanted to accomplish with 4 Demolishers. But that's the good game. So that's game 2. It's a bit odd. I'm not gonna lie. Very interesting. Very non-standard, I believe. I don't normally see games play out like that. It was I don't know what to say, but it was very interesting nonetheless. I feel like Fly should have probably focused more on his army there at the end, but you know, I mean, because that was just odd. That was odd. Going 4 demolishers, and he didn't really have anything to deal with the fact that there was knights and stuff, and I don't know, but you know, whatever. I don't know, but it was an interesting game. Hope you guys liked it, and that's game 2. If you'd like to watch game 3, you can click here. If you missed game 1, you can click right there. Game 1's amazing, and game 3, of course, you can click right there if you'd like. So I'll see you guys there.